Hello YouTube. Good evening. Let me make sure I'm on live chat. So I've got, as most of my live streams, I've got my Surface Pro here ready to keep an eye on the chat. So I want to make this interactive as possible. So be very much interested to hear your thoughts and views on the sets we will be reviewing. So I just actually had a look about 7 months ago. I wasn't aware that it was already that long ago. Lego announced that they were going to bring 31 rejected Lego ID set onto Bricklink as part of their Bricklink Designer Program. So that's kind of how it started, and we're down to 28 sets, and they're doing 3 crowdfunding rounds. So crowdfunding round 1 has already happened, and I think it caused quite a few issues because lots of people wanted some of the sets, and lots of them were sold out day 1, and lots of people bought them up to 5. I think you could buy, and there were lots of issues with the first round, but it seems like they've kind of changed some things around now for round 2. So I'll quickly go over it in a second. Hi guys, and so yeah, we're down to 28 sets, and now for round 2 they've gone for 9 sets that we have to crowdfund. So the first 5 of those 9 sets that get to 3,000 pre-orders will eventually get manufactured into Lego sets. Now it's worth knowing that these Lego sets will not come with the usual kind of Lego sets, like they will not have instructions in them. There will be digital instructions. That's one of the differences, and essentially they'll be quite limited in terms of production. Now if we go back to the first round of the crowd surfing, I did buy some of the, I think it was the Lego castle. I bought that one. I bought 3 of those in the end, but that was a crazy day, and it all went pretty much within a few hours. So if you're going to be interested in some of these sets, you may want to act quick because it's on the 9th of November. But let me start sharing my screen because that might actually make more sense. Alright, so the Bricklink Designer Program. So and how it works on the day when things get announced, you actually will get a link and it takes you to the Lego website to finish the checkout process. So let me just have a look, see where we're at. So I'm just checking to see if we're up to date. So yeah. So how does it work? I kind of said it already. They're going to the crowdfunding stage now. There's going to be 3 stages, 3 rounds. There's a whole list of frequently asked questions. And as I mentioned, the previous round, you were allowed to buy up to 5. Now Lego have limited to just 1 because I think that was one of the biggest complaints. And it will take a while before these sets will get into production. I believe the last round was July. Was it July or even June when they did this? I can't even remember when the first round was. And they're not planning on starting production until like the end of this year, beginning next year. So it's still going to take a while for us to get the sets for the first batch. So you can see the planning dates for round 3 sometimes in 2022. So 9th of November is the day you have to put in your diaries for this second round. I'm not going to go through all the list of the frequently asked questions, so you can actually see all these things here. It's available pretty much in most places in terms of shipping as well. Hi Shoko, hi Sim UK. Yeah, let's just go through. I'm just going to go to the next tab. So interestingly here, they've also announced some of the pricing as well. It's only in dollars for now, and it will be, I believe it's 8 p.m. UK time when it will start on the 9th of November. So if you're interested in any of these sets, make sure you're online around that time to snap them up, because it could be gone. Some of these sets could be gone within an hour or 2 if they're that popular. But the one big difference I've noticed from the first round is the pricing seems quite high compared to what some of the sets were in the first one. You can see the cheapest one is $36. So I think that may be one of the things that they've already kind of tweaked to discourage, people buying loads and reselling them. But yeah, let's start cracking on through the list of them. As I said, let us know in the chat what you think. Which 5 sets do you think are going to make it out of these 9? I've kind of made notes around next to them to see which ones I think will make it, but that might be just my bias. So the first one we're going to start with is the mountain windmill. Let's go through the pictures. Now this one, I like the look of a lot. It's quite unique. I think it will go in well with a lot of the themes, like I forgot what it's called now. the blacksmith. I think that would kind of go well. You can create like a forest scene. I think this looks really good. I think this is definitely going to be one of the 5, and from the ones that I've seen on the list, this is probably one that I would be tempted to buy. And I think it got, for about $180 this will go, so I would imagine it'll be about 140 pounds or so, maybe 150. So that's the windmill. Does actually have, so it's got 2,085 parts in total, 504 lots, and it actually can spin when you use the lever, so it's quite clever that way. From my view, I think this is definitely one of the better ones for this round 2. Right, next one is the modular Lego store. Again, let's go through the pictures. And yeah, it does look like a Lego store. And until about 15 minutes ago, I would have said this is one of the sets that I would kind of get, because it goes with like a modular perspective. But when I look at the options and having to choose 5 out of these 9, this is probably the one that's most likely to drop off, and I'll tell you why. Because I'd like to get this set, don't get me wrong, but when I look at this set, I think it looks quite simplistic, and I feel like this is a set that could easily potentially be replicated by just getting some of the parts and rebuilding something similar to this. I don't think it's necessarily the highest technically skilled modular building that's out there, maybe apart from the top bit here with these Technic pieces. That's a bit unique, but it's nothing that hard that you can't figure out. So yeah, I think this is possibly one that could drop off my list for the top 5. I'm not sure what you guys think on that one. Yeah, no minifigures for the Windmill. Yeah, not many of these sets have minifigures. So, and this one, Lego store, is $180 as well. I can see making it, but it's not one that I know would necessarily get. If it gets to it and I can see it's still available after a day or two, I might snap up if it's qualified for the production. But it's not one that is immediately top of my list for this round 2, I would say. So I got a question mark over the Lego store, whereas if you asked me a few months ago, I was like, yeah, we're getting that one. But the more I looked into it, the less I convinced I am, and the more I think I could build a similar mock quite straightforward from this. Yeah, a lot of Lego city builders will take it, but if you actually look at it, it's probably not that complicated. Look, it's very blocky, right? It's not that much detail. I do like the fact though that the back opens up. I thought that was quite smart, but then again, it's just a hinge plate that you put on, and it's, yep. It can be replicated quite straightforward, I would say. Right, next, Science Adventures. This is $36, and I guess you're paying for the minifigures. I must say, I'm not overwhelmed by this set. I don't know. It's not high on my list. I just don't see the appeal of it, apart from maybe the minifigures. I could be wrong. Maybe I don't get it. Tell me, guys, what am I missing for this set? Is it the minifigures, or is it the different little scenes? It's just, to me, it's just, when I think science, I don't necessarily think science like this. I think of scientists in a lab. But maybe there's some sort of series that I'm missing, something that I'm not familiar with. So I'm kind of catching up on the chat, having a look, see what people are writing. Yeah, I think this could be gift for purchase type potentially, rather than Lego set, and I just don't see any like special parts for this either. For me, this is one that doesn't make it, even though it's the cheapest one. Right. Oh, let's have a look. 414 parts. I forgot to look how many parts the other one had. Sorry about that. I can have a look later on. And 147 lots. Yeah, it's a no for me. Next we got Seasons in Time calendar, and this is a whopping $250, and I don't know why it's gone like this. And when I first looked at this, I kind of didn't really get it, but the more I looked at it, I think this could do really well, and I think this is probably one of the sets that will make it. I just like the fact now that you literally have like a calendar, like you can just change the, you know, the date and the thing on it, and then you can, depending on the timing of the year, you can have a little different set on the top of it. Now the issue is that it is, where do you put all the other sets when it's not that time of year, right? So you can see pieces go missing. But look, the fact you can have like a Halloween scene, you know, little autumnal scene or winter scene, you know, Christmas, birthdays. I think this is really clever, you know, Valentine's Day, Chinese New Year, I guess. Yeah, and spring. The more I look at this set, the more I think this is a winner. Because you got these levers here you can turn, so it actually will change the days. It'll also change the date and the month. I think this is quite a smart set, and it's got 3,000 pieces, which is probably why the price is so hefty at $250 and just under 500 parts. Yeah, I quite like it. What do you guys think? It's one of the sets that I overlooked when I first started looking at these sets, but having kind of done a bit of further digging into it in each set, I can kind of see myself getting this, because it's something you can use all year round, right? I can see people have that like on a desk at work or something. You miss Interclass. Yeah. Well, there's no Santa on this one either, so, but it's Christmassy theme. Well, I guess there's a Christmas tree and there's the winter scene. You can create your own variant, right? So the price for this one, Xavier, is $250. So yeah, I think it's gonna be about 200 euros. Maybe probably 250 euros actually. Probably about 220 pounds or something like that. The good thing is, well, I say the good thing, when you order, you're not going to get charged until they actually ship. So that could be a few months away from now. So you could buy it and then you're not going to have to pay for it until it actually gets shipped. So which will be many months away from that. Cool. Next one. Got the bowling alley. I didn't even notice it was Dave's Bowl Cafe, which is called the Retro Bowling Alley. 2,779 parts, 380 lots. I can see that if people have like a city that works probably quite well with modular design. Looks very much that it would fit in with the American diner, right? That sort of genre. Must say it looks good from the outside. It's got a little arcade. I like the detail in this one. So when I compare this to like the detail they had in the Lego store, you can see this has definitely got a lot more detail to it. And this one is $230. And from some of the comments I've seen, I think lots of people will like this one. So I can see this is probably one that's going to make it. Is it one that I'm going to get? Probably not. I don't know. What do you guys think about the bowling alley? It's got some minifigures there too. Nothing spectacular. I like the sign that they've built. That's quite cool. But to me, that could be anything inside apart from having those pins. Yeah, it kind of can be replicated for anything, right? do people think? Yeah, I don't know. I think it will make it though, but it's not one that I'm planning on getting. But I do think that this is going to be one of the 5 that's going to go through. So I think this is predominantly going to be popular potentially with the people in the States who might be a bit more bowling crazy than what we are over here. Now don't get me wrong, I do enjoy a game of bowling, but do I want to see it in Lego format? Not particular. But then that can be argued about lots of things, right? And I still buy it. Now, Brickwith Studios, $280. Now, a long time ago, I built a Lego set for ID submission. Now, it was nowhere near the standard, and it was a Western saloon / hotel. Didn't look anything as good as this. This is amazing. And I can see why this made it to the 10K, right? So let's just go look through the picture. And the thing that I like it now, this is clearly like a movie set in a Western theme. Let's just hope they don't have an Alec Baldwin minifigure, because that would be quite topical at the moment. But yeah, I do like this set. I don't even see the need for having the whole movie thing near it, right? But the fact that this kind of is modular building that can open up to build the different scenes, I think that's very clever use of the parts in the design. You can see here at the back, this kind of opens up with like a stair to the top. This is a beautiful set. This is like the set, that sort of Lego standard you would expect to have. So to me, this is definitely going to make it. I didn't even check how many parts. I'll have a look in a second. If you look at the design of it, it's kind of made so it opens up and the floor kind of fits in back to it. So yeah, beautiful. I think it's got an open back then, right? So you can still see it from the back. And I saw they had the roof on the side. So this is what it looks like when it's closed. So that's fully enclosed then. That's a nice chandelier kind of thing that they've done there. Yeah, this is definitely. Oh, and even like this, look, you can show that these things kind of come down. So kind of flaps down and everything. So you can probably even do like different sort of scenes if it's like it's been attacked or anything like that. That's very clever. They got the vault there at the top. Yeah, this is the one, I think. 3,741 parts. 609 lots. Comparing the price to some of the other ones, that's not a bad one for value for money. And I guess that's sand blue and lots of reddish brown. Now the only issue is like all these reddish. Are the reddish brown pieces going to stay intact? We all know they like to break quite easily. I don't think they're doing giveaways for these. This is not something that they do. This is not an, I would say, official Lego set, right? These are kind of like a one-off. Next we have the ruined house, the most expensive one of this round. $300. I don't know. You see, I wonder who would buy this. If you buy like a Lego city, if you build like a Lego city, you want it to look nice, right? You don't want to have a ruined house in there. The only time I can see this is it'd be a really good set is if you want to do something spooky around the Halloween theme sort of thing, or maybe like you have some war scenes and everything. You want to show some destroyed houses. If you have like military kind of equipment nearby and things like that. But it's 4,000 parts, so the biggest one I think on here. Not many unique parts, right? So I think a lot of the similar building, you see all the masonry bricks, right? It's a miss for me. I had a question mark over it. To me, if it's between the Lego store and the ruined house, I'll probably, if you're looking at it from an investment perspective, probably this one would be better because it's less likely to be able to build this, whereas the Lego store you can build this. This is not something you can easily build without any instructions, I would say. So from that aspect, this would win for me over the Lego store. But would I pay $120 more for it? That's the question. Yeah, ruined house. I don't know. Maybe not. What have we got here? Oh, let's go to the beginning. Got the Aquarium Clockwork Aquarium, $65. It's got the little handle that spins, which makes the scenery go round. So these fish swim in an oval, the crab jumps, and the octopus spins as you turn the crank. So it's clearly quite smart. You can change the background as well. 3 themes. Again, this is some sort of thing that you put on someone's desk, right? This is more like you give as a gift to someone who likes fish or has an aquarium. It's not something I would get. 874 parts, 284 lots. I marked it as a no for me. Well, actually, I've marked it as a question mark. That's wrong. So we'll have to wait and see what this one does. What do a lot of people think about this one? Do you like how it can be custom? And I think the strong point for this set over the other ones is the price point, right? Because not many people are going to be able to spend a lot of money on all these expensive sets. So yeah, this could make it. Purely if people want one of the sets that's more affordable, is either this one or the Science Adventures. I think this one will trump the Science Adventures. Even though it's more expensive, I think it's just more to it. Right, Quest Builder. 3,415 parts, 426 unique parts, $260. Now for me this is a hard miss. I'm not into this sort of theming at all. But I imagine there's people out there who would love this sort of thing. And I guess it's kind of modular where you can rebuild all the different ways of how it's done. So I guess it's got lots of playability features with it. But are the people who really buy these things from the Bricklink Designer Program the sort of people who are going to be playing a lot with Lego? I could be wrong, right? Expansion module. I guess that's not included. Yeah, the instructions are included. Well, I guess if the instructions are included, and as a Bricklink seller, I should be promoting this one, so that means people might be buying lots of parts from Bricklink. That's the one way I look at this. So yeah, I don't know what to think about this one. For me, this was a no, and I just don't know what sort of audience this targets. But I could be completely wrong on this one. I guess we'll have to find out on the 9th of November to see how this one does. And the interesting thing is when they do the crowdfunding, you can kind of see the progress bar on how many orders it's done. So the first 5 to 3,000 are the ones that are going to make it, and then automatically as the 5th one gets to 3,000, the others drop off, and that's the end of it. And then I think it goes to like 5,000 sets for you to complete the orders, and then it's kind of full. Although I do know in the last round they upped some of them to 10,000, so I'm not sure yet what round 2 is, if it's also going to be 10,000 or still 5,000. Then what else have we got? I think, was that the last one? I think that was the last one. yeah, so there you have it. Those 9 sets. So if we recap, now which ones would I choose? That's a definite 1. That's a definite 2, 3. You see, I'm going to put the aquarium down, even though I wasn't planning on to. So for me, the definite 4 that I have so far are the Brickwith Studios, the Windmill, the Seasons in Time, and the Aquarium. Now the 5th one, I think the bowling is gonna snatch it. Simply because you can buy a Lego store already for about £24 or £25 in the Lego store. Much smaller, obviously. Yeah, I think the ruined house is just too expensive for what it is, and the bowling might have more fans to it. Oh, open up the quantity to 10,000. Oh, thanks for sharing. That's good to know. Yeah, these sets are way overpriced compared to the first round, I would say. But do you really think that Science Adventures is going to sell? You think there's going to be 3,000 people who are going to buy that at $36? I don't know. That's, for me, that's not one. That Western film set, fish tank, bowling. Yeah, I think the Windmill will do well as well. But then the 5th one, I can't call it. Alright, if I have to go for one, it's going to be the bowling. There we go. That's my my input. So, not finished yet. Let's just go through some. So there's going to be a 3rd round as well. And I just want to show you, there's some great sets in the 3rd round. So we have still the 2nd round, but if you scroll down to the page, 3rd round. It's not announced yet when that will be, so it'll be at some point in 2022. Another 9 Lego IDs, I think. Space Troopers. God knows what the pricing will be for these, right? So, not a fan of this, I must say. The diner looks good, but what's different from the diner we already have, right? The one for me is this train station. This is the one that needs to be made, right? We need a train station. Lego needs a train station. Now, the one thing I'd like to see for this train station is that they get rid of the train, purely from an affordability perspective. We don't need another train. Bring the cost down and focus on this train station is what I would say to the developer of this one. Then there's a working waterfall. That looks very different to what it did originally. So I think they may be looking at it from a price perspective to bring it down. The Exploratorium. Imagine if this gets built. This is going to be a massive set. Looks good though. Venetian house will look good too. The Winter Chalet looks great. Imagine this as a Christmas build. The construction site and the Mountain View Observatory. Now, this round is going to be hard to pick 5, right? Because they all look pretty decent. The one I'm definitely a no-go is the Space Troopers. The others are all I could see myself buying. I'd probably skip the diner as well because we've got a diner already. But the rest, you could see some sort of use. Although the waterfall maybe not. Although it's quite unique. I'd have to look at it, see what it does. But yeah, that's due to come at some point in the future. We don't know when that is coming. But yeah, that's the Bricklink Designer Program. So let's have a look at the comments. Yeah, if we look at the current pricing, I think you're right, Paul. I was shocked when I saw the pricing for this round. It was a lot more than what we had in round 1. In round 1, I thought the pricing was reasonable, but then I think Lego were also surprised by the fact that so many people just jumped onto it, and I'm wondering if they just deliberately put it higher now just to kind of slow down the demand a bit more and make a bit more money on this. Even though they don't need it, they're making plenty of money as it is, right? But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So 8 p.m. UK time on the 9th of November. There's not a set out there that I feel like I have to get it. Whereas with the first round, I knew the castle one, that was the one that needed to be got. So this one, if I have to buy one for personal, it'd probably be actually the Seasons in Time. Purely because I think that's something that I could use. And I think that's going to be quite a nice feature and something that the missus would potentially allow in the house. Outside this room, I mean by that. It wouldn't just be bound to Lego be stuck in this room. It's something that she'd possibly allow somewhere in the living room or on my desk in the living room. So who knows? But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching and for your input in the chat. It's much appreciated. We'll see you again soon with another live stream. So have a good evening, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye.